All right, so it's very, very clear and apparent that something has to be done in the WNBA. We are ready to get into the second half of the season, but thus far, the first half of the season has been filled with negative drama, nasty news articles, the WNBA looking like the complete circus and clown show that it is. Kathy Engelbert clearly cannot handle the job, and I believe that this is the time Adam Silver is about to step in. The signs have been pointing that way. He clearly inserted himself on the Caitlin Clark, Alyssa Thomas thing, which tells you the commissioner doesn't have a real.
The hammer just dropped from the very top of the basketball world, and the fallout is absolutely nuclear. Adam Silver has officially seen enough of the WNBA looking like a circus, and he is taking the keys away from Kathy Engelbert right now. This is not just a warning or a memo sent to the front offices across the league. It is a full-blown takeover because the targeting of Caitlin Clark has reached a level that the NBA commissioner deems a total liability. While the players thought they were just playing physical basketball, Silver sees a PR nightmare that is threatening the biggest investment in women's sports history. The era of the enforcer is being dismantled in real time, and the shockwaves are hitting every locker room.
Already stepped in on the Kathy Engelbert, Caitlin Clark situation, and that was just the beginning. He's gonna be full-fledged monitoring things. You see they have the NBA replay center coming now. It's a lot going on, man. Kathy's not built for this, and we got to get into this article in the New York Times because it's saying, yeah, Kathy has brought some level, the business is thriving, but why can't she escape criticism? For one, the business we all know is only thriving because of the arrival of Caitlin Clark, but this business won't continue to thrive with the way it's being run.
The first half of the WNBA season has been riddled with what insiders are calling nasty news articles and a complete lack of professionalism. From the constant attacks on the court to the messy drama off of it, the league has looked more like a reality show than a professional sports organization. Kathy Engelbert is reportedly struggling to keep her head above water, and her inability to handle the pressure has forced Silver's hand. He's seen the booing at the Barclays Center, and he's heard the cries for better leadership. The signs have been pointing this way for months, and now the NBA is officially inserting itself to stop the bleeding before the second half of the season becomes another circus.
Business won't continue to thrive with the way it's being run. Really think about it. We have an entire couple airing each other out. Dejanay Carrington and Alyssa Smith. Adam Silver's going to step in and do something about all of this dating. Or it's like a secret hookup club. Like it's crazy. It's not professional. In most businesses and most companies, you cannot mess around with people in the company. Like that is like a normal thing. And Adam Silver is gonna see to it to put an end to all of this nonsense. Let's take a look at
the catalyst for this sudden intervention was the infamous play involving Alyssa Thomas and Caitlin Clark. Remember when Thomas put her hand to Clark's throat and sent her to the floor? Most people thought that was just a hard foul, but behind the scenes, Adam Silver was already making calls. He reportedly inserted himself directly into the disciplinary process, bypassing the usual WNBA channels entirely. This was the first sign that Silver no longer trusts the current leadership to maintain order. He's tired of the nasty headlines and the reputation the league has developed. By involving himself in the Thomas situation, he sent a clear message that the rules have changed for everyone.
Like a normal thing. And Adam Silver is going to see to it to put an end to all of this nonsense. Let's take a look at this here. Bro, we can have cheating being aired out in the WNBA. Oh, me and your boyfriend and girlfriend, you slept with two of your teammates. Oh, no, you slept with one of my teammates. Bro, this looks crazy. This shit don't look professional. This is terrible. Take a look at this here, man. Courtesy of the New York Times. Here it says the WNBA's business is thriving, so why can't Kathy Engelbert escape criticism? Here it says Kathy was at the...
Silver's move to bring in the NBA Replay Center is another massive step toward total control. He wants eyes on every single play, ensuring that any targeting of superstar players is caught and punished instantly. This isn't just about missed calls, it's about a cultural shift. The transcript reveals that the WNBA has a lack of leadership that requires a grown man to step in and stop worrying about feelings. Silver is leaning into the stars because that is what is best for business. He knows that the only reason the business is thriving right now is because of the arrival of Caitlin Clark, and he's not going to let a few jealous players burn the whole house down because they can't handle the heat.
Why can't Kathy Engelbert escape criticism? Here it says Kathy was at the center court inside Barclays Center when the Liberty beat the Aces in a mid-season tournament. After her job title, she took the mic to congratulate the team and was drowned out almost entirely. Okay, she was getting the hell booed out of her. Okay, and that wasn't the first time. All right, now I want to get you guys to the. Pardon me. Let me get this clear for you. Let me get that clear for you. Okay, there we go. There we go. My camera loses focus sometimes when I travel. It's my travel camera.
But the targeting on the court is only half the battle Silver is fighting. There is a shocking level of unprofessionalism happening behind the scenes, specifically regarding player relationships. The league has turned into what some are calling a secret hookup club, with players like DeWanna Bonner, Carrington, and Alyssa Smith airing out their personal drama for the whole world to see. Silver is a business-first commissioner who believes this kind of public messiness makes the WNBA look like an amateur operation. He wants a professional environment where the focus remains on the product, not who is sleeping with whose teammate. The cheating scandals being aired out in public are a massive red flag for sponsors.
It's bad for business, okay? Here's a quote. If we're going to make a move, we should make a move, said one high-ranking team official speaking anonymously to protect existing relationships. If not, we need some leadership. And the leadership is the real problem, guys. That's the real problem. This league has a lack of leadership. They need to get a grown man, a male in there that is not being worried about feelings and this and that, that's going to do what's best for business. And that's leaning into the stars. So, the leadership.
The New York Times recently highlighted the growing criticism against Kathy Engelbert, noting that she can't escape the heat even when the business is technically thriving. When she took the mic at the Barclays Center to congratulate the Liberty, she was almost entirely drowned out by boos. That kind of reaction from the fans tells you everything you need to know about the current state of leadership. Players and team employees are complaining publicly about day-to-day decision-making, yet they are too afraid to speak on the record for fear of retaliation. This culture of silence and fear is exactly what Adam Silver is looking to dismantle as he takes a more active role in the front office.
NBA negotiations, he was playing a role behind the scenes. More recently, he reportedly involved the disciplinary process. He was involved in the disciplinary process of Phoenix Mercury forward Alyssa Thomas, now infamously the play involving her Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark, okay, when she put her fist on her throat, okay. Here's a quote. It says CNBC's Game Plan Summit on if they asked Adam Silver about it. He said, I'm not going to comment on that because I don't think it's fair to Caitlin and to Kathy either. That's the real issue here. So he indirectly told you, yes, he had to step in. Okay, now here's
one high-ranking team official, speaking anonymously, admitted that the league is desperate for real leadership. They claim that if the league is going to make a move, they need to do it now. The current CBA negotiations are contentious, and while Silver hasn't been at the bargaining table officially, he is playing a massive role behind the scenes. He is the one pushing for the league to perform like a professional business rather than a collection of personal vendettas. The players might not like a man coming in to tell them how to run their house, but when the house is on fire, and the current commissioner is just standing there with a glass of water, someone has to take charge.
And, it actually needs to be run professionally now. You have a worldwide international superstar in Caitlin Clark. This is the opportunity for you to legitimize as a league. What was pulled at All-Star Weekend, that trash game the last 2 years, somebody's got to step in and get this thing fixed. Someone has to step in and get this thing fixed, okay? Now, take a look at this. In recent years, Engelbert's communication style has been criticized and magnified by the players who aren't afraid to air their grievances. Okay, while many players say they never had a relationship with Engelbert, the level of strain went mainstream when Nafisa Collier called out Engelbert during her exit interview. And we're all.
The tension between Angel Reese and the league office is reaching a boiling point. Reese sees herself as a pioneer and a competitor who shouldn't be penalized for her intensity. However, the new directive from Silver essentially creates a protected class for certain players. If you even look at Caitlin Clark the wrong way, the NBA Replay Center is going to be dissecting the footage for hours. This creates a massive competitive disadvantage for players who rely on physicality to win. Reese is furious because she feels the league is picking sides and choosing who they want to succeed based on jersey sales rather than who is actually the toughest player on the court that night. Adam Silver's involvement in the disciplinary process was a shock to the system. When asked about it at a recent summit, he tried to play it cool, saying he wouldn't comment because it wouldn't be fair to Caitlin or Kathy, but that indirect answer was a massive tell. He basically confirmed that he had to step in because the WNBA front office was too paralyzed by internal politics to act. They were worried about appearing biased, so they did nothing while players were being physically assaulted on the court. Silver doesn't care about the optics of bias. He cares about the bottom line. If his star attraction is getting hurt, he's going to stop it by any means necessary. The transcript mentions that the WNBA All-Star Game was essentially trashed for the last 2 years and that someone had to step in to fix it. This is part of the larger narrative that the league was stagnant until this year's rookie class arrived. Now that the eyes of the world are on them, the cracks in the foundation are showing. From travel issues to player safety, the league has been playing catch-up for months. Silver is tired of the excuses. He's implementing NBA-level standards across the board, from how players are protected to how they conduct themselves on social media. The days of the WNBA being a wild west of personal drama and hard fouls are officially numbered. The level of strain between the players and the commissioner went mainstream during the exit interviews. Players like Chindi Carter and others have been vocal about their grievances, and it's clear there is no real relationship between the athletes and the leadership. When the players don't respect the person in charge, you get the chaos we've seen all season. Silver is trying to bridge that gap, but his methods are harsh. He isn't interested in being the player's friend. He wants to be their boss. This shift in dynamic is causing a lot of friction, especially among the younger stars who are used to having a platform to say whatever they want, whenever they want. The business won't continue to thrive with the way it's currently being run. That is the cold, hard truth that Adam Silver is forcing the WNBA to face. You can have all the ticket sales in the world, but if your brand is associated with cheating scandals, unprofessional dating circles, and physical targeting of rookies, major sponsors will eventually walk away. The league has a golden opportunity to legitimize itself on a worldwide stage, but they are currently tripping over their own feet. Silver's ban on targeting is the first step in a long process of cleaning up the image of a league that has spent too long in the shadows of the sports world. Think about the message it sends when a commissioner has to tell players they can't mess around with people in the same company. In any other professional business, that is a standard rule, but in the WNBA, it has become a central part of the narrative. Adam Silver is seeing to it that this nonsense comes to an end. He wants to separate the personal lives of the players from the professional product on the court. The fact that he even has to address this shows just how far the league has fallen under Angel Reese's watch. It's embarrassing for a multi-billion-dollar entity to be dealing with high school-level drama at the highest level of play. Angel Reese's frustration isn't just about the rules. It's about the narrative. She knows that every time she plays hard, the media is going to frame it as her attacking the league's sweetheart. With Silver's new ban, that narrative is now backed by the weight of the NBA's disciplinary arm. It makes it almost impossible for her to play her game without fear of being suspended or fined. This is the definition of a hostile work environment for the veterans who paved the way. They feel like they are being punished for the league's success. The more popular the WNBA gets, the less they are allowed to actually play the game that made them famous in the first place. The leadership problem is the real root of all this evil. Silver appointed Engelbert in 2019 because of her impressive business resume, but running a consulting firm like Deloitte is not the same as running a sports league filled with high-intensity athletes. There have been questions about who she even reports to, which has led to a lack of accountability. Silver is finally providing that accountability, even if he has to do it from the shadows. He's taking over the decision-making process because he knows that if he doesn't, the WNBA will miss its window to become a permanent fixture in the global sports landscape. The stakes are just too high to leave it to chance. Every time Caitlin Clark steps on the court, she has a target on her back. We've seen the hard screens, the unnecessary shoves, and the blatant fouls that go uncalled by WNBA refs. Silver's new directive changes the math for those refs. They now know that the NBA Replay Center is watching them, too. If they refuse to protect the players, their jobs are on the line. This is Silver's way of bypassing the internal politics of the WNBA refereeing crews. He's bringing in a higher standard of officiating that doesn't care about the history between players. It's a move that should have happened years ago, but it took a superstar like Clark to make it a necessity. The dating drama mentioned in the transcript is particularly damaging because it creates cliques and divisions within teams. When you have teammates sleeping with each other and then airing out cheating allegations on social media, the locker room chemistry is destroyed. This directly impacts the quality of play on the court, which, in turn, impacts the ratings. Silver understands that the product is only as good as the player's commitment to excellence. He's looking to implement stricter conduct policies that will discourage this kind of public spectacle. It might seem like overreach, but from a business perspective, it is a mandatory move to save the league's reputation. Cathy Engelbert's communication style has been a major point of contention. Players say they have no relationship with her, and when she does speak, it often feels out of touch. The transcript highlights how she was blasted during exit interviews for her handling of the Caitlin Clark situation. She tried to please everyone and ended up pleasing no one. Adam Silver doesn't have that problem. He is willing to be the bad guy if it means the league survives and grows. He isn't looking for a relationship with the players. He's looking for a return on investment. That cold, calculated approach is exactly what the WNBA needs right now to move past this circus phase. The physical attacks on Clark were becoming a meme, and not a good one. It was making the league look petty and jealous rather than competitive. When a rookie comes in and immediately becomes the face of the sport, there is bound to be resentment. But when that resentment turns into physical danger, the commissioner has to act. Silver's ban on targeting is a direct response to the idea that the WNBA is a league where you can bully your way to the top. He is reclaiming the narrative and ensuring that the focus stays on basketball skills, not who can land the hardest cheap shot. It's a win for the fans, even if the players are currently fuming. Angel Reese is now at a crossroads. She can either adapt to the new professional standards being set by Adam Silver, or she can continue to fight against a system that is clearly moving in a different direction. The fury she feels is shared by many, but the reality is that the money is following the change. The WNBA is no longer a small, niche league where players can do whatever they want. It is a global brand under the watchful eye of the NBA. The days of the circus are over, and the era of the professional athlete has begun. Whether the players like it or not, the rules have been rewritten by the man at the very top of the mountain. The second half of the season is going to be a fascinating study in power dynamics. Will the players fall in line, or will we see a full-scale revolt against Silver's intervention? The transcript makes it clear that the league was on the verge of a total collapse in professionalism. With the NBA Replay Center active and a ban on targeting in place, the game will look different. There will be more whistles, more fines, and less drama. It might lose some of its raw edge, but it will gain the legitimacy it has been craving for decades. Adam Silver is betting that a clean, professional product will always beat a messy, dramatic one in the long run. Ultimately, this is about the survival of the WNBA as a top-tier professional league. The arrival of a superstar like Caitlin Clark was the spark, but the leadership of Adam Silver is the fuel that will keep the fire burning. The targeting had to stop. the dating drama had to be pushed behind closed doors, and the front office had to be held accountable. It's a painful process for the players who feel their culture is being erased, but it's a necessary one for the sport to grow. The circus is leaving town, and a real professional organization is taking its place. The question now is, who will be left standing when the dust finally settles on this